If you clicked on this video because a random sexual thought made you question the kind of person you are, you're not here because you wanted those thoughts. You're here because you're scared of them. Imagine you're talking to a classmate, your manager at work, a close friend, or someone you deeply respect. Everything feels completely normal. Then, without warning, your brain throws an image into your mind that makes you instantly think, "What was that?" For the next few minutes, you stop listening to the conversation. You replay the thought. You analyze it. You wonder whether it means something about you. By the time you get home, you're not even thinking about the original situation anymore. You're thinking about yourself. Why would my brain even do this? Am I becoming someone I don't want to be? If that sounds familiar, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why these thoughts happen, why they feel so convincing, and what psychology suggests can help you stop giving them so much power. And there's one fact that changes everything. The thoughts you're most afraid of often tell you the least about who you really are. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing every single thought deserves to be taken seriously. It doesn't. Your brain generates an enormous number of thoughts every day, and most pass by completely unnoticed. The ones that scare you don't stick around because they're true. They stick around because your brain detects your emotional reaction. Think about it. If a random song gets stuck in your head, you might laugh and move on. But if a disturbing thought appears, your body reacts completely differently. Your heart speeds up. Your stomach tightens. You immediately start checking yourself. Did I enjoy that? Why did that happen? What if it comes back? Without realizing it, you've just taught your brain something. This thought is important. So your brain keeps bringing it back, not because it's revealing a hidden desire, but because it mistakenly believes it's helping you monitor a threat. It's like a smoke alarm that goes off every time you make toast. The alarm is loud, and it feels urgent. But urgency doesn't always mean danger. That's the trap many people get caught in. It is not the thought itself that causes the suffering, but the belief that they must solve it before they can feel okay again. Here's where almost everyone gets stuck. The moment the thought appears, your instinct is to get rid of it. You tell yourself, "Don't think that. Stop. Normal people don't have thoughts like this." For a few seconds, it seems to work. Then, the thought comes back even stronger. It's similar to trying not to notice your own breathing. The second someone points it out, it suddenly feels impossible to ignore. Your attention becomes the fuel. Every time you argue with the thought, check whether it means something, or replay it looking for certainty, your brain learns one lesson. We'd better keep watching this. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain is doing what brains are built to do. Pay attention to whatever feels emotionally important. The problem is that anxiety can make harmless mental events feel incredibly dangerous. So what actually helps? Not proving the thought wrong. Not trying to force it away. Instead, practice noticing it without giving it a job. Imagine the thought is like a notification that pops up on your phone. Some notifications deserve your attention, but others are just background noise. You don't have to open every single notification to know it isn't important. The same idea applies here. When an intrusive thought appears, simply recognize it. There's that unwanted thought again. Then, immediately return your attention to whatever you were doing. At first, it won't feel satisfying. Your brain will demand reassurance. It will want certainty. That's completely normal. But with time and repetition, many people find that these thoughts become less attention-grabbing because they stop treating them like emergencies. Now, if these thoughts are persistent, highly distressing, or interfere with your daily life, approaches such as exposure and response prevention, ERP, a form of therapy commonly used for OCD, can be very effective when guided by a qualified mental health professional. Remember, the goal isn't to force the thoughts away. The goal is to change your relationship with them, and that's a very different thing. If you've been living with these thoughts for weeks, months, or even years, don't expect them to disappear overnight. Real progress isn't measured by whether a thought shows up. It's measured by how much control it has over your day. Here are 3 habits that can help you break that cycle starting today. First, stop treating every thought like evidence. Your mind is incredibly creative. It can imagine things that would never happen and things you would never choose. A thought is simply a mental event, not a verdict about your character. Second, pay attention to your stress. Many people notice intrusive thoughts become louder during periods of poor sleep, chronic stress, or constant anxiety. Taking care of your body and mind can make it much easier to respond calmly instead of reacting out of fear. Even a short walk, regular exercise, or talking to someone you trust can help lower the intensity of that anxious spiral. Third, stop facing it alone. If these thoughts keep coming back cause intense distress or make you avoid people or situations, reaching out to a therapist, especially one experienced with OCD and ERP, can make a real difference. You don't have to figure this out by yourself. Here is the one idea I hope you remember long after this video ends. Good people have disturbing thoughts. Kind people have disturbing thoughts. Loving people have disturbing thoughts. Having an unwanted thought does not make you dangerous. What matters is what you choose to do, not the random noise your brain sometimes produces. Your mind is capable of creating thousands of strange ideas, but you are not required to believe them all. So, the next time one of these thoughts appears, don't ask, "What does this say about me?" Ask instead, "Do I have to give this my attention?" That single question can begin to change the way you relate to your own mind. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear the same message. And if these thoughts are causing significant distress, remember that effective treatment is available, and reaching out for professional support is a sign of strength. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.